everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm sitting at a little bit of different angle today because the project I'm going to be doing is a little taller, and I'm wanting to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Now it looks like I got a whole ton of stuff here, and I kind of do, but the project is not hard. It's just I got a lot of stuff to add to it and different things like that. So if you remember the little dog bowls that I hauled, here they are. I think I hauled these a couple of weeks ago. We're going to be using these. We're going to be using some gesso and this is just apple barrel white paint, and then some in bright blue. And that's the pink portion of it. Then we're going to be using these little candle holders that I just hauled. We're going to be using some Dollar Tree flowers. And then our little styrofoam things I just hauled. And then this was already in my stash, but if you can see, it's from the Dollar Tree. We're going to be using one of these. And then, of course, some of the Easter, well, this is not really Easter grass. This is, voila, this is the decorative shred, and it's in the party section of Dollar Tree. We're going to be using that card that I had on my last haul. And then, of course, some of the Easter eggs. I have a few over here that were left over from another project. And we're going to be using some of the carrots. And then I'm going to be using one of these craft sticks. Of course, this is from Dollar Tree as well. My glue sticks. And my fix-all. Because I said I wanted everything to be from the Dollar Tree for this project. And then we're going to need a brush. And this is a piece of bubble wrap. And you can use whatever you want, but I use bubble wrap for some texture, and you'll understand why in just a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is clear some of this out of the way so we can get started, because this is a rather long project. And I went ahead and did some of it beforehand because figuring out how to do these metal bowls took an enormous amount of time. I personally did not have any spray paint, and personally I couldn't go out and buy any right now, and so I did these by hand. Now I know this is probably not the look for everybody, but I didn't want to do white, and I didn't want to do all blue, so I did this. If you remember a project that I did last year, and if I can remember, I'll link it below in the description box, where I did an upcycle project of an old vase, or not really a vase, but a container that I had flowers in, and I redid it. I sort of did it like this style. But I'll tell you why I did this like these. And that is because, okay, so my mom and my grandmother had these kind of like enamel containers or whatever. And over the years, my grandmother just painted them because she just kept them. And she got enamel paint, and she would paint over it, and then she would splotch it, so that she could cover up any dings in it. And this is what reminded me of it. And so this really was my inspiration for doing it like this. Now, this is a project that I did see on Pinterest, but I'm just going to recreate it to the best of my ability here. And I like to do things my own way. So we're going to get started here. Okay, so I wasn't sure how I was going to do this because I didn't know what would take with what. So I just take some gesso, and I'm going to gesso over the whole entire bowl. And I did bring my heat tool out so I can dry it in a hurry. So all I did was, and I am going to do the bottom of this one, because this one right here I have for the bottom. This is for the very top. And so this one is going to be for the bottom. Oh yes, and the reason I did it the way I did is because I wanted something to have a chalk paint consistency, and I didn't have any chalk paint, so there again, I just did my own thing, and I mixed my paint with gesso, and it really came out like with a chalk texture. So I really like that. So, and I dabbed my sponge along the way. Like, I didn't necessarily paint everything. But this does take several coats because it's shiny, bright aluminum or whatever. It's not really steel, I wouldn't say. So it does take some time to do it. Don't worry, I won't sit here and bore you while paint dries and everything. But I'm just going to show you what I'm doing on the first coat first. And then I'll finish this part off of camera. So what I'm doing basically is just going around the inside of the edge of the lip, because if somebody looks underneath this, you will be able to see it. So I just wanted to cover it all up. Now, the inspiration piece that I saw was done more in farmhouse style, which that to me could be farmhouse style. But you know, my colors in my home are predominantly blue and white, light blue and white, because I have a lot of nautical stuff here. And so, I just didn't want it to be farmhouse white. Okay. So I am going to paint the bottom of this as well. Well, not paint, gesso it. And if you don't have spray paint that you can spray metal with, you definitely want to gesso your pieces, because it will definitely not hold the paint. I know. So, tried and true. So I'm just going to let that dry. When that dries, I'm going to give it a coat on the inside of it. So, and then I'll come back and show you what we do next. Okay, so I finished gesso in it, and I just covered the whole entire pan with gesso. Even though you're not going to see much of the inside, I still want it to be covered. And so, yep. So the next step, we have gesso left over. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to tint my gesso with my blue paint. And I'm just going to start mixing it and see about the consistency of it. I mean, the color and stuff that I want. Trying to get it all off the side here. And to be perfectly honest, it doesn't matter if it matches exactly the colors I did on the other two bowls. Because the other two bowls don't exactly match. It's kind of an irregular color or whatever. So now I did that. And it's going to pick up some of the white too. But I'm okay with that. I'm just going to go in with the same paintbrush. And then I'm just going to start painting over the white. The gesso and stuff. Now on the inside of the lip, I went around like this and just dabbed it. Like a little like sponging or whatever. And I found that that worked best for getting it to stay on. Well, it stays on the white, but I mean just covering it up really good. So I just went around like that and just dabbed around the edges of it with the brush. That's why I use the sponge brush also. And then I just went around and painted over it. Now if you'll notice, or if you can tell, it's got a very chalk-like feel to it. And that's exactly what I wanted it to have. I wanted it to feel like chalk paint without having to buy chalk paint. So I'm just going to go over all of this. And I'm just going to put one coat on it, because I'm going to go back over it with the white and dab it with the white and stuff. And then some of the blue as well. And when I get to that part, I'll show it to you. So I'm just going to set this down here. And you can see I'm just dabbing this down here around the edges. And you can see some of the white coming through with it. And, you know, I'm just so totally okay with that. This one is a little lighter than that one, but I'm okay with that too. I am just not going to sweat it because I want this to be sort of rustic. So I'm finished painting the outside. I'm going to let this dry a few minutes and then I'm going to turn it over and paint the inside. And then when that gets completed, I'll come back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so we're done and everything is dry. So the next step is to do my white. And I'm just going to dab some paint on the paper here. And I'll just show you real quick what I'm doing. I'm just folding my bubble wrap up. And I'm dabbing it into the paint. And then I'm just going to dab it off on the paper. And then I'm just dabbing it all over. Just like that. So I'm going to do this to the whole thing because I don't want this video to be 2 hours long because we still got stuff to do. I'm going to wind up doing this and then I'll be back when it's all done. Okay guys, so I am totally finished with this one now. And now we're going to start putting our project together. So I have all 3 of them. And what I'm going to do is stack them. Now I was going to use the other candle holders, you know, with the wide base and all that on here. But I actually like these because it's exactly tall as I want it to be, and I like that. So I am going to be using a combination of a glue gun and the Fix-All adhesive because I want it to be permanent and I want it to stay. So all I'm going to do is to put some Fix-All around the edges of it like this. And then I'm going to find the place where I want to put it. I'm going to try to find it in the middle and I'm going to stick it down right there. And that's going to leave a ring in the bottom. I'm just going to put just a tiny bit more. And then I'm just going to add some hot glue to it. Just so it has a good permanent fix now. So we can get through this. Okay. I'm going to turn this back over and stick it down. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Alright. And that's going to take a few minutes. I'm going to hold it just to make sure it has a good seal on it. Pull that glue out of there. Alright, then we're going to put this one on top of that. And I'm trying to center it so it looks even. And I'm just going to put the Fix adhesive on top like this. You really should let this dry a good 24 hours. You know, before you so it has a permanent seal. Like I said, I'm just going to use some glue gun right now so it will. I'm going to look to see how I can get that in the middle. Before I press down on it. This is the hardest part, is making sure you get it all level. Okay, now I'm going to press down on that. Okay. That's pretty stuck. Alright, and then I'm going to take the next size up and do the same thing. I'm going to stack it up like this. And I'm going to put some Fix All on it. Now you can use E6000 if you'd like. That's good. Now let's stick this back in the middle. And just hold that down for a minute. And the hot glue set. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing to this one. We're just going to try to stick it in the middle. And this looks about like it might be a little easier to do. So, except for the paint, everything that I'm using literally has come from the Dollar Tree. Take the glue off of there. Okay, and then I'm just going to try to line this up in the middle. Make sure that looks like it's in the middle. And then just press down on it until the glue grabs it. Okay, so you don't want to pick it up by the levels, and definitely until it gets, you know, dry and cures a little bit. So, just going to play around with this for a second here. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes, and then we're going to start decorating. Okay, guys, I made a mistake. I took this off the top right now because I wanted to put this wreath around the top part of it, this one right here, because this is going to be my little bird part of it. And I had this wonderful grapevine wreath, and I wanted to put that on there like that. And you'll see where I'm going with it. But I'm looking for the flattest piece that'll fit on there. Now this I'm just going to stick with hot glue. That's all I'm going to do is hot glue on this one. Oh no, I wouldn't, you know, I'd run out of glue stick before I yeah, get glue all the way around it. Okay. Whoops, sorry guys. Trying to work around my tripod here. Okay, so then I'm just going to put that on there like that and hold that down for a second. Whoops. Okay guys, so I've been wanting to put this on here. I wanted to put it on here, but what I didn't realize or didn't think about was that it's not going to lay level on here because this is a twig leaf, wreath, and it's just not good. So I'm going to be taking that off and, yeah, and not using it. And I'm just going to do a little repair work here on the rim of my thing, and we're going to move on. Okay, guys, so we are all finished. Now, all I'm going to do now is to decorate the inside. I'm going to put flowers on this bottom tier, and then I'm just going to put my eggs and my little carrots here, and then the top, I have a little surprise that I just found that I'm going to be putting on there. So when I get it decorated, I will come back and show you what it looks like. I just basically wanted to show you how I constructed it. Okay, guys, so here it is finished. I may go back and add a few things in here, but I did add some things from my stash. That was from Dollar Tree. Of course, I put my flowers down here, and I may go back and add a couple more flowers. These two little chicken salt and pepper shakers are these right here, and they're from the Dollar Tree, of course. I got them last year. And then this little bunny, I used it, the other one for another project, but I have one left over, so I stuck him here with the little carrots and stuff. And then the little signs that says Egg Hunt, Candy, and Bunnies. And these signs came from the handmade card that I got, you know, of course, from the Dollar Tree as well. I think you saw me haul this on Tuesday. So it came out really, really cute. I'm really happy with it. I put the eggs in here, of course, from the Dollar Tree. I don't know why I say Dollar Tree so much. Mainly because I buy a lot from the Dollar Tree. And I craft a lot from Dollar Tree. But I just think this turned out so cute. And I think it's going to be so cute sitting on my table. So I'm real pleased with it. Like I said, I may add something else to it, but I doubt it. Yeah. So I just love the little chickies with the eggs. And the little bunny and the carrots. And then the flowers down here. And I don't know if I told you or not. I picked the daisies and the daffodils because these were my mom's favorite flowers. And so I was thinking about my mom. So yeah. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this project, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've not joined my channel yet, please do so by clicking that subscribe button. And don't forget to tap the bell as well. Thank you so much again, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.